Okay, what I wanted to show on the Ministry of Health evidence is this here. Okay. This here you can actually see I had a lawyer, and this is the judgment minute of Judge McCarty. And the hearing at the hospital. I know that hospital doesn't exist today. Okay, so that and it's very likely all the evidence is deleted. Okay, but in documentation, this is an exhibit. Okay, this is actually an exhibit in court. Okay, and this is the minute, and this is just to prove that I did have a mental health specialist. Her name was Jan Leeming. When she found out what the ministry had done to me, she was like, the word she used was, she was gobsmacked. She was shocked that they did that to me. She said, do you know that they can be sued for doing what they're doing? Especially after when she realised, what they did, and then she realised what I was doing as an occupation. And I said to her, I'm going to make sure I'm going to sue them. I'm going to make sure that they're made accountable for what they did to me. But this is the lawyer that I had. She was there at the hearing, So this here is a documentation just to prove to the court that I had a lawyer. In this document, I've actually asked for a transcript of the recording, because we're allowed to, by law, as a plaintiff or a party, you're allowed to ask for transcripts of your hearings. You are the only one, and the lawyer is the only one, and they have to release it. Okay, so I was asking for that, but he declined it. Instead, he gave an oral judgment, and I just thought I needed to focus on that. The other evidence that was in there is this affidavit of memorandum, and this here also was with my employer. Hang on. Let's go back. Okay, see, here's a letter of my employer here, dated 1st of December. I think I've already gone through this, and I'm complaining about the workplace bullying. I'm not sure, but my phone just got cut off. Okay, I'm having hacking problems, and I find it annoying. And this here is the Ministry of Justice Management, who were aware of all the complaints I was having, and the name Tony Fisher, who's the general manager, and Chris West, they're the ones that I spoke to. Chris West is a senior human resources, but they're the ones that the video clip is referring, like they're the two men that I'm talking to with the PSA. Okay, all these documents is in my case as an exhibit. Now, this affidavit too, I feel, is important. It clearly says that, it's got my name, it's got my maiden name and my married name, and then everything in this affidavit refers to the report written by those two, I thought they were doctors, but they're actually nurses. This one here. So that affidavit is also an exhibit, okay? The other evidence I felt that I needed to concentrate on is, here's the proof of when they used the Mental Health Act on me, okay? I believe that their intention, after stealing and using me while I was working for my employer and using me for money laundering or whatever they want to call it, I believe that the misuse of the act was just a part of another cover-up, so nobody will believe me and I can't fight back. And the other thing is that it hasn't stopped. The abuse, the intimate abuse has not stopped. The intimate being used for a pecuniary advantage has not stopped, okay? So it hasn't stopped, and I haven't stopped fighting back. So here is what you get when they use the Mental Health Act on me, and it clearly says here, that they put me in there for 5 days, okay? So this is just evidence. They did use this act on me, and I was living at that address. And this is the doctor here, Dr. Joanne Shislabim. I actually I actually hadn't even met her on when she did this. So I'm not sure why she signed it, because I hadn't even met her until the 5th of till the 5th of the 11th, when I had that meeting with her with 3 students. So if you're into criminology, I'm actually describing the crime scene, okay? So I hadn't met this woman. She put this here. So if I'm correct, and she's linked to people in my private life with the relationship scam, it's likely she's related to the Moana's family or somebody on her side, you know, all part of the love triangle going on, okay? But that's I believe she is. But I'd never met her though on the day she wrote this. Okay, so the act was actually in force on the 4th of February. Here it is, the name of the hospital, and that's the date. Okay, so this is just evidence they used the act on me. Here's the other doctor. So, you know, we've got 2 women's names here. She's the other second lady that saw me after Dr. John Joseph on the 4th. And then they arrested me about that time. They came to my home and they arrested me. And this is the lady that actually came with the police and arrested me at home. Now, there was issues where the judges wanted to know who is the name of the party, okay? And this here, I actually told the judge in court as evidence, because, you know, that was the other thing, that the issue was the name of the party, right? Well, on that form, if you're into criminology, all these things are important. Let me see. Right here. There you go. Ministry of Health. Okay, this is on their form. And the guideline is issued by the Director General of Health under Section 130 of the Mental Health Compulsory Assessment and Treatment Act 1992. So I did highlight that at one of my oral hearings, and this is confirmation that the name of the parties is that should be legally, and it is legally, because I paid $75 just to have the name of parties changed at the advice of the Deputy Registrar, and I felt it was right too at the time. And when I did my research on the laws, it is definitely the name of the party that's in trouble, or in this case, even though it's the doctors, it is the Ministry of Health. Okay, so this is on their form. There you go. And while I'm on that topic, I actually won this case, right? I won my case against my employer, and the decision, because they medically terminated me. So medically terminated means that that I'm mentally impaired and not suitable to work anymore. So their intent was to use the Mental Health Act to make sure I never work again, and to do their games with what they've done where nobody believes me, okay? Because the Mental Health Act and what they've used on me, that was their intent. It was another form of defamation of everything that I've gone through. So nobody will believe me. So I'm the liar, and they're the ones telling the truth, which is not correct. Okay, so this is evidence, but it was the medical terminated decision was cancelled at an employment it was cancelled at an employment mediation, and I won that case. Okay, so I still sued. I still did. I still that that was the end of that. But because of the seriousness of what they had done to me, they that law is squashed. Like, what I'm saying is, just because there was a settlement with my employer, keeping in mind it's a separate entity, has nothing to do with Ministry of Health. Like, Ministry of Justice is different to the Ministry of Health, even though they were working together. They were, the word I like to describe is that they were in bed together. They made a decision together to get rid of me. They made a decision to do what they're doing without any sufficient legal evidence. It being a fraud, they actually pushed me out, and it looks like they just wanted to get rid of me, and then use the act to cover up and defame years of abuse and serious working, working cover up for what they did to me while I was working. But I did win that case. Okay, so I've actually won every single case. But the law clearly shows that just because they're doing everything together, it doesn't. What happened with the employer thingy is separate to the Ministry of Health. Okay, but that's a different topic altogether. I was able to challenge them according to the law to everything that even though I felt that the Crown at that time were relying, just because that I won that case on the 6th of May 2016, and then the medical terminated decision was cancelled and they paid me out. But I still contested it, and I was able to prove that according to the laws that it was a criminal case, and that my employer had taken advantage of somebody, because I was in a state of shock. Okay, after they did what they did, I went through mental anguish, and I went through so much. Suffered so much mentally, and just the grieving of what I'd gone through, the reality of what they did to me, and so I felt that that they had taken advantage of somebody, but they actually, according to the laws, you just got to do your research. They actually overrides, because I just know, but I did prove that in the hearing, that just because I won that case and what happened with the Ministry of Justice, it doesn't excuse what happened to the other corporate bodies. Okay, and it also doesn't excuse the Ministry of Justice from being pressing criminal charges for what they did to me as an employee, because the charges are category 4. All right, nothing is going to change that. Nothing in the legislation is gonna allow these corporate bodies from getting away from what they are doing. So I'll leave it at that for now. Okay, just a quick review. I have actually officially laid criminal charges on the Ministry of Health, okay? It's been signed. Let's have a look. I'll come back to that. Let's have a look. Okay, so recently I'm waiting on an order from the New Zealand police, okay? Because these are all the people that I've actually because the New Zealand police evidence is solely connected. The New Zealand police evidence, the Crown. Okay, so I'm up against the Crown in civil. So once a case goes to the criminal, it's the Crown and criminal supposed to take over my case. But I'm up against at the moment with the Crown and civil. All right, so different jurisdiction. They've got different background of understanding of the civil law versus the criminal jurisdiction. Okay, so when it goes to the criminal is different, but category 4, the old system is anything criminal overrides anything civil. Okay, I'm going to finish with this soon. But that's what's happening. Okay, so